Thanks for watching. I'm Margot Kinberg, and this is In the Spotlight, a closer look at a crime novel. Antiques have a special appeal because they all have stories. There's always histories about them, and some of them are absolutely beautiful. Let's take a look at a story that features an antique today and turn the spotlight on Burton Egbert Stevenson's The Mystery of the Boule Cabinet. A New York lawyer named Lester is invited to visit his friend and client, Philip Vantine. It seems that Vantine has recently purchased a cabinet during a trip to Paris. Unfortunately, the company shipped the wrong cabinet, and the one Vantine received is a priceless museum piece. He wants Lester to arrange for its return and for the receipt of the cabinet Vantine actually ordered. Lester's visit is interrupted by the sudden arrival of another man who demands to see Vantine. After a short while, Vantine and Lester go into the room where the man is waiting, only to find he's been killed. Soon enough, Detective Simmons arrives, accompanied by star newspaper reporter Jim Godfrey, who was with Simmons when the call came in. The investigation begins and Lester finds himself drawn into it because he was on the scene. That evening, there's another murder. Vantine himself has been killed, and in the same way as the other man. Somehow, the men were poisoned, even though no one came into or left the room when the murders happened. Lester and Godfrey begin to believe that somehow the valuable Boule cabinet has something to do with the murders, and so it turns out to be. And there are several people who have a real interest in that cabinet, which means there are several suspects. The case turns out to be linked to international theft, the cabinet's history, and a master criminal. So what are the elements in this story? What keeps it going and keeps the reader turning or swiping pages? Well, the cabinet itself is an important element, as I said. It's a rare antique from the days of Louis XIV and has had more than one owner since then. It's got its own history and secrets, and they all have a bearing on the story. It's described in vivid detail too, so readers can get a sense of it. The story was published in 1911, so readers also get a sense of New York City life among the wealthy at that time. Some of the characters are French, some are English, and it's interesting to see how they were portrayed in the novel. It's not a case of cultural conflict, but there are what you might call stereotypical observations made on both sides. The story is told from Lester's point of view, first person, past tense. So we see the world through his eyes and learn things as he does. He's a smart, capable lawyer, and he and Godfrey make an effective team as they try to find out the truth. It's really Godfrey, though, who does a lot of the detective work. Detective Simmons, too, is a sympathetic character. He's hardworking, intelligent, and thoughtful. Police Commissioner Grady, who is Simmons' boss, is portrayed less sympathetically. There's even a hint here of the bumbling police detective trope that we see in earlier classic detective fiction. As the men search for the truth, we see how they interact. The mystery itself, the deaths of the two men, is connected to other incidents and to international thefts. Readers who enjoy traditional master criminal type stories will appreciate the plot. It's complex with several characters, impossible murders, narrow getaways, ingenious devices, and criminals who can be actually quite suave. The Mystery of the Boule Cabinet is the story of a priceless piece of furniture that ends up being part of an international crime plot. It features early 20th century New York, a beautiful and storied piece of furniture, and a pair of amateur detectives who are determined to find out the link between the cabinet and the murders. This has been In the Spotlight. I'm Margot Kinberg. Thanks for watching.